How's it going, guys? This is Mustard here with what I hope will be quite an interesting video on some Captain Cold setups that are now possible thanks to the recent balance patch. Everything you're about to see is now possible thanks to some of the changes that Captain Cold received and is absolutely insane. All this is based off a reset discovery or like a setup found by Rich Menudo on Twitter, so huge shout outs to that guy for what is one of the best finds this character has seen. Well, actually arguably could be the best discovery Captain Cold has seen since the game came out. And not only that, I'm going to show you some variations on the setup that have been found by none other than Sonic Fox, the guy that's been running a complete tear on the world with Captain Cold so far, winning Biennality, winning Summer Jam, all mainly with Captain Cold, and using some of this absolutely crazy new reset potential that Captain Cold has. So without wasting any more time, I'm not going to take credit for anything found in this video. I just want to say that immediately. I didn't find any of this. This is all based on what Rich Menudo and Sonic Fox have found. All I'm doing here is just showing you guys watching what is the reset, how does it work, what is actually happening, how is this possible, and importantly, how do I get out of this? You know, what are my options on the defense to hopefully not lose my entire life bar to this? And I'm going to do my best to explain it, and hopefully you guys can keep up because it's going to get quite complicated, but I'll do what I can. But without wasting any more time, I'm just going to show you the reset in question. Okay, so that is the reset. That is the damage potential. You can loop that into another setup if you want. You can do some crazy knockdown stuff if you want. But fundamentally, what you just saw is the new Captain Cold unavoidable damage reset. That is guaranteed. There is one exception in how your opponent can get out of it. They can push block, but they will still get frozen. They will still take damage. So, as a rule of thumb, that damage is guaranteed. Batman had full life there. He's set to auto block. So even if you block the reset, the point that will reset the opponent, you will still get frozen, you will still get hit, you will still take damage. So that's even on the lower side. If you get hit by the reset, trying to get out of it, trying to jump or do something silly, you will still take damage, you will take more damage. So that is the reset. What is the reset? How does it work? So I need to set a couple of, I suppose, foundations here before I explain it in depth. So Captain Cold generally has multiple ways to freeze the opponent. The obvious one is meter burn down back 3, the deep freeze. This freezes the opponent for a combo. The level 2 traits. Once they've been standing in that for about 4 seconds, they will get frozen, and it'll be the same fashion. Then I can combo from that. And his Frost Field, his meter burn down forward 3, the meter burn version only, will freeze the opponent if they're sitting in it for a few seconds in the same fashion. The normal Frost Field will do damage, but will not freeze the opponent. It is the meter burn version that will freeze, but you can also put the normal one on them as well, just to add up that damage and do more damage to them while sitting in it. So that is basically the core of how the reset itself works. If the opponent is currently frozen by any of these options, they cannot be frozen again. The game will basically try and fire them out of it. So for example, if I fire my Snow Globe and they start to get frozen, and then I hit him with the meter burn down back 3, the original freeze will kick in and he'll fly back. You see that? Normally, if the freeze runs out of the deep freeze, they sort of just stay standing where they are. But if the game is currently trying to freeze a frozen opponent, like it's about to happen here, he'll fly back. The game will try and end the combo. The game will try and just end things where they are right there by just ending things and saying, right, he's already been frozen, cannot be frozen again. Let me fly this opponent out of the combo. No potential. This is where it ends. You can actually combo the opponent during that animation. And if I do the reset again from the start, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And then here, they have to block this. Second freeze. And then the game's going to try and fire him out here. And there we go. That forward 3 reset the combo. That's what I'm talking about. That's where the damage is coming from. The forward 3 reset. And from there, you can freeze again if you want to extend the damage. Or you can just cash out for no extra bar, I should say, and go for another reset. Now, another thing about this is the meter I build. Look, I've got 4 bars. I'm set to normal super meter behavior. And with the amount of damage that I'm about to do to Batman, look at how much bar I spend, and look at how much meter I actually end the combo with. Okay, 1 bar spent originally for the freeze. Another one here for the refreeze. Can hit him again. Reset. Cool. And then I basically built the bar back. So for that situation, I spent 2 bars, and realistically only spent me 1, because I almost built an entire bar back just by doing that. And that is another layer of how ridiculous this reset can be, because you build meter in Injustice by doing special moves, having opponents block your attacks, and importantly, dealing damage to them. This reset mixes all of those 3 things together. So Captain Cold is constantly building a lot of bar himself at the same time. You know, that is basically how he gets all this bar back in that situation. Now, the reset itself, I'm going to break it down piece by piece now so you guys can know what are the moves I'm doing, how does it work, and how can I do this, right? Because there's a few specific timing things to it, and I'm going to try and do my best now to show you. So, hit confirm anything into deep freeze, level 2 dome, normal frost field, instant jump 1, 4, 2, 3, down back 3. That is the start. That is the bit you need to get rid of first. You need to get that sequence down. It has to be an instant jump 1 into 4, 2, 3 on the way back down. Obviously, if you do it too late, like without the dome, he's gonna be able to combo. He's gonna be able to block it in between. But if he's in the dome, it will combo. You see, this reset requires the snow globe to be behind them at the same time. So again, to do that, hit confirm into deep freeze, dome, field, instant jump 1, 4, 2, 3, freeze, 4 dash 3, meter burn force field. Standing 3 into projectile, forward 3 to catch them, and now you can do whatever you want. That is the reset. From this point on, you can do anything you want, and even do like a hard to blockable there, like overhead into low, like 3 lows into an overhead thrown in just for good measure. That is basically how the reset works. You need to get that second freeze because you do the initial freeze here, the dome, normal one, and then here. This is the reset. You wait, and then as they come out of the freeze here, that will happen, and they'll fly out, and you'll get the reset. And that is basically how it works. It's a bit difficult. It requires a lot of execution, a lot of inputs. Like here, the freeze, gonna hit him out of it, and then there we go. There's the reset again. That is what you need to do. And I hope that explanation has kind of helped a little bit. I understand it's a little bit hectic. I'm doing this all in one go, so I hope it's not being too hard to follow. But fundamentally, that's what you need to do. You need to have level 2 trait, you need to have a bar for this, and you need to have a bar for this too. So minimum 2 bars for the one I just showed you there. However, there are a couple of options when it comes to getting out of this. So if I set a push block, he's going to level 2 dome. There's the normal one. He's going to push block the standing 3 here, and then get frozen anyway. And I'm going to do a combo, and then I can do whatever I want. I didn't have to do an ice block there. That could just be nice and cool, but you get my point. Look at how much damage he just took again. And I just built a bar. That sequence almost didn't cost me anything at all. So if I have 4, and he push blocks out of it, he's still going to take damage. He's going to push block here. Yep. He's going to push block. He spent a bar, and I almost built the bar back. I have 3/4 of a bar because he push block. He lost half of his life. He lost basically over 50% health. He lost a bar, and I ended up with more bar than he had at the start. Look, he had 4 bars too, and his push block didn't build him as much bar back thanks to the damage he took as I built for doing damage to him in that situation. So push blocking will make you not take as much damage from the whole sequence, but it will make me need to spend less, still hurt you, and basically make me meter positive on you in that situation. And that is insane. Some people are saying you can jump out of this. You can't. I'm going to show you quickly now why you can't. So I'm going to have him set to jump forward. So the game is going to make him... I'm going to turn off push block 2. The game is going to make him jump forward as soon as the game lets him. So down 1, he's going to jump forward. Right, I'm going to push him back into the corner. Okay. Now, as soon as the game lets him jump out, he's going to try... See if I can get this right. Delay the standing 3, and then, yeah, he tried to jump out, which is why he got hit there, and then the reset's going to take effect again. So jumping is not a reliable way out of this at all. If you think they're going to mess up the timing, you might be able to jump, but, you know, trying to get out of a reset on the assumption that your opponent is going to screw it up is a bit dangerous, because if you actually get hit by the standing 3, you take a lot more damage than you normally would anyway. So push block is really your only option. There are a few character-specific things, like I know that Gorilla Grodd can do Meter Burn Stampede because it has loads of armor on it, but... I mean, that's one exception. As a rule of thumb, this is incredibly difficult to get out of. Push block is your most reliable answer, but you will still get frozen, you will still take damage, and you're going to get hurt. And even if you do manage to sneak a jump out, you're still going to get frozen anyway, and you'll take damage regardless. So that is that. If all you wanted to watch is the original reset, look no further. But I'm about to take you on a little bit of an adventure to a few other possibilities. So, if you have just 1 bar to spend, you can do something like this. Backdash, snow dome, jump in here, 4 dash, 1, 2, 2, wall. He gets frozen, and then you can do whatever you want in the corner. You can, you know, get a setup off that if you want. Down 1 into low freeze. That's a 1 bar variant because if you want to just do this, 1 bar, trait, jump in, same thing. Use this the frames on this to keep them blocking. Freeze kicks in, and then you combo from it. That's 1 bar option. Again, there's nothing they can do about that, and still does a very respectable amount of damage. You're looking at over half-life again, and this is on Batman, so lower defense characters will lose even more to that. But you can start to get really tricky and I suppose really BM with this situation. This is some of the stuff that Sonic Fox has been showing, which has been very cool. So if your opponent is content to just sit there and they've accepted their fate and they know that, okay, well, realistically, I can't get out of this, so I'm just going to sit here and let him do what he wants. And when it's over, and I'll get off the ground and maybe I can make a comeback here. You could do some interesting stuff like this. Now he's on auto block again. There's the same setup. I'm going to keep him blocking here. I'm just going to charge my gun right in his face. He gets frozen. I shoot it. Keep him blocking. Now here, there's a standing 1. This standing 1 goes into 1-2, which is overhead, and his down 1 is a low. So he's blocking the standing 1. He thinks an overhead's coming. And down 1 for the low. And there you go. Hit him again. Hey, freeze. Oh, I messed it up. But that is a very high damaging option to it. So again, I'll show you that again. Also, here's the same starter. So they think the crazy one's coming. They just accept their fate. You start charging your little gun away. They get frozen again. You shoot this. Get them blocking a standing 1. They think an overhead's coming. You go low. Come on. Refreeze. Yeah. And damage. Look at the damage. And look at the meter I built. Look at the meter I built. I still have practically 3 bars. Oi, 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 oi. And I'll show you that one more time if they don't block the overhead and they decide to respect the low instead. So let me just pretend that he's going to get hit by the overhead portion of that instead. Let me do this. Charge my little gun in front of him. He gets frozen immediately. Shoot the field. He gets hit by the overhead. And bam. You know, you can do whatever you want off that. Keep a combo going. They'll get refrozen. And they're taking basically the same amount of damage anyway. That is all I wanted to show you when it comes to corner stuff. Now, to show you one final thing, I'm going to push us mid-screen to show you that this can actually be done mid-screen as well. All you need to do is, again, level 2 dome, and you need a bar for the deep freeze. So, mid-screen versions of this. Deep freeze, dome, deep freeze, dome immediately, forward dash, instant jump 1, projectile this time, and then you hit them with a cross-up, and you do whatever you want. I actually didn't expect him to get hit by that there and get sent in such a fashion, get a guaranteed bar of trait back, but I'm going to set him to auto block to show you actually properly what this is. There it is. Dome, instant jump, projectile, he blocks this, and for blocking it he gets frozen. Oh, no, hang on, did it a little bit too late. Instant. Oh, I'll do this right, I promise. Again, doing this all in one take is kind of difficult. Hey, there it is, and then you can go back to 3-2 into a guaranteed bar of trait charge. And look at the damage. Again, half life. That is a clean 50% of your opponent's life into almost building the bar back that you just spent and also getting a free bar of your trait back. Your resource spending here is deceivingly low. I almost built the bar back, and I got 1 bar of my trait back practically guaranteed. If your opponent wants to push block out of this one, like they can, if I set him to block escape, let me set up the situation again. So he's going to try and push block as soon as the game will let him. And instant forward dash, instant jump 1. He's going to block this and push block me. If he doesn't backdash immediately, he'll get frozen. Backdashing is a way out of that, but he'll get frozen if he doesn't do that, and I'll get another bar of my trait stocked and regenerated. But if your opponent's being cheeky and just thinks they're going to push block the overhead, let me take them off block escape, you can freeze them anyway for an extra bar spent. But I've already told you about how much bar you build back straight away. He's going to look for the overhead, empty jump low into meter burn wall, and he gets frozen again. The trickiness you can do here is almost never ending into another bar spent. I almost built the bar back. It's cost me 1.5 bars for half life, and I'm now on my opponent's head. He knows that he can't just wait for the overhead and push block. He knows that's not a guaranteed way out. I've mixed him up. I've got in his head. I have him worried and guessing. So push block is usually the best way of getting out of these setups, but in the corner you will still get frozen, and mid-screen you are susceptible to that next level mind game layer of just taking damage upon damage upon damage. Captain Cold spends very little resources to do it. The problem for Captain Cold is getting the resources to do this in the first place. Charging up that level 2 trait can take a while and can be quite awkward versus some characters, but as soon as you've got your opponent cornered, and as soon as you have that hit confirm into this, and you've got the dome, and you've got the down forward 3 ready to go, your opponent is going to be taking some serious damage. So, I hope this wasn't too complicated. I understand it probably was, but I did what I can. This is all in one take. Again, it's very complicated to do all in one go, so hopefully you guys didn't find this too hard to follow. This is where it's going to end. Feel free to ask as many questions as you want in the comments, and I'll try and clear up as much as I can. But fundamentally, that is Captain Cold. That is some of the craziness that he can now do. Thank you very much for watching. Have fun with this, and I'll see you guys next time.